Welcome to Rated Radio Plus, the show where artists and albums are pitted against each other while their songs get rated on a scale of 0 to 10. I'm your host, Shane Wyndham, and this is the Smashing Pumpkins vs. Silverchair. Hope you're ready for a fight. We will start here with Silverchair. The random album I got from their discography was Freak Show from 1997. Of the 13 tracks, I thought 13 were great, but none of those got a flawless rating. My bottom track was Petrol and Chlorine, and my top track, much to my surprise, was The Closing. The music makes me feel like I'm celebrating my birthday in purgatory. I'd recommend this artist to fans of Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, and Bush. Then we've got the Smashing Pumpkins. Random album I got was Adore from 1998. Of the 16 tracks, I thought 12 were great, and one of those got a flawless rating. My bottom track was 17, and my top track was Behold the Nightmare. The music makes me feel like I'm watching Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, filmed as a black and white silent era movie. I'd recommend this artist to fans of, and I'm sorry for the length here, Counting Crows, Bjork, Nine Inch Nails, Radiohead, Sneaker Pimps, Silver Sun Pickups, Our Lady Peace, Pixies, Hole, Garbage, Live, The Cranberries, Better Than Ezra, and Mazzy Star. I'm usually too honest, so this preface will sound like nonsense, but gotta be honest here. I am still struggling to pick a winner this week. Funny too, because even though this is a strong matchup in my mind, strong albums even, I presumed Pumpkins would have this wrapped without question. And that presumption is down to the fact that I listen to Adore much more than I do to Freak Show. But Silverchair did slightly more with less tracks if you don't count the Pumpkins' lone 10. They're crazy different albums, by the way, which is also funny since the cross-sectionality of these groups is so evident at certain points in their discos. Adore is very much a poetic shoegaze spin with some industrial rock-laden moments, whereas Freak Show is angst-riddled but utterly iconic in its alt-grunge soundscape, much the way I feel when hearing certain riffs in Nirvana's Bleach album. Decade-defining stuff. The drum and bass on Adore tend far more toward repetitious droning than Freak Show, but Freak Show's complexity is marred by lyrics which feel bleak. What I love most about this duo of listens is that Silverchair shows some of the wildest melodic chops on most songs that you're apt to hear outside of prog. We're talking 6 differing melodies per track in places. The Smashing Pumpkins, on the other hand, have Corgan making plain that he's the Roger Waters of his generation, leaving you very aware that most of the music you love from the 90s is an offshoot of what that dude was bringing to the table. Both albums suffer from meandering or repetitive endings and weak bridges in the majority of songs, but I still think these are stellar discs, even if neither is my favorite LP by either group. They're right up there. Ultimately though, I need to call a winner here, and I think that's going to Silverchair. As much as it pains me to say, Pumpkins should have cut the B-side fat of tracks like Annie Dog and inserted the stuff they held back instead, such as Once in a While and Zarina. It's simply easier to argue that Silverchair was nearest their peak with Freak Show than it is to argue that for Pumpkins with Adore. So I may think a bit better of the Corgan outfit than that of Daniel Johns, but Johns had the more listenable showing. Feels like a technicality though, and I'm not altogether sure this choice isn't just repressed frustration about the Future Embrace and Mary Star of the Sea not being listenable on Spotify. Regardless, the albums covered here are ones I'd always recommend to the inexperienced. Please like or comment if you're still listening, and remember you can send all kinds of feedback to rated_radio@yahoo.com, an easy way to get your voice on the show. You can even see the majority of songs I rate by clicking join for free at patreon.com/ratedradio. This episode is meant for paid subscribers, but will remain free to hear until the next edition of Plus releases in a month or so, because I'm cool like that. Anyway, that's gonna do it for now. Until next time, fill your world with music.